Did you really think you could just walk off with that? Mission like this? You want to bring out the big guns.
So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world, well, we don't have enough information to know precisely what this means. But I doubt it's good.
Microbe is going to make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go. We thought, well, we hoped it would be comparatively merciful. People just giving up instead of deploying to the battlefield.
Nah, old UC facility where I used to work. Just happened to remember the access codes.
Oh, and don't forget to run that bloodstone back to Cambridge. Boy, maybe he just helped save the universe without ever realizing it.
Detecting critters coming your way now! Adrian's the one with the plan. I'm just along for the ride. Place I was hiding out? That was our home base, Red Devil's HQ.
So I'd love to know what it is you're planning from here. But when a lab accident took them down, they called on Hadrian and I to take up the mantle, set in motion everything that's come since.
Cold feet? Who could blame you?
There you go. You see, that makes its way back to Cambridge.
Good God, you're not kidding. Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over.
Really appreciate you doing that.
Samples in the spaceport. Main route looks like it was blown out when...
I presume you've heard of Londinian.
Before we get too far, still a problem.
Ooh, got me on the edge of my seat here.
Medicine can get tight on Mars. Mining's plenty dangerous. So I cooked up some meds on the side for an old friend who was running low.
I'm sorry, but you're making it sound like Bay Victus, a man who was publicly executed, isn't dead.
Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the cabinet?
We don't have to worry about one last generation of very long-lived terramorphs menacing humanity.
You and Hadrian are the right people for this job.
Sure does. UC will hand over credits for every set of samples collected. We should be able to keep you in fresh cred sticks for a good long time.
Suppressant shouldn't take long to cook.
Oh yeah. Known each other since the Xenoweapons team first set up on Mars.
Watch it, Major. You're not hatchling yourself anymore.
Glad to have you back all in one piece. I'll get these logged myself.
Looks like there's a power control board in the security office. Upper floor.
Running the first sweep.
Yeah. Doing the research the UC ordered us to. I dare say she got it.
Yeah, Hadrian and I. We're both former Xeno warfare. But it's been almost 20 years since the UC cut us loose.
Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research. But I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days.
Works for me. Let me get you the details.
I'm just nulling out the frequency. Take the lie detector right now if you want. Only other sample I've ever seen that matches yours came from that graveyard of a planet. Either someone's setting up the worst petting zoo in the universe, or...
If we're gonna do anything to prevent more terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Hadrian's all right? Take more than a couple terramorphs to put her in the dirt. Terramorph attack, huh? Not exactly sure why you'd be bringing that.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Suffice it to say,
That's dusty medicine. Besides, giving the Trade Authority control over whether boys like Cambridge can function or not. Don't like that idea.
Which is why, when the Trade Authority offered to bring me on as a consultant, I leapt at the chance.
Appreciate the help here. So, what can I tell you?
Whoa! Louder than I expected.
Looks like the shipping yard's just beyond the cache. But finding your sample out there is gonna be a real needle in the haystack situation. Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Got a candidate. Closest is a Sealy's. Not far. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far.
Oh. I'm sorry my forced into exile lifestyle inconvenienced you. There was a team before us, set up in some secret base somewhere, that laid down a fair bit of groundwork on the field.
What? Need help from the old man now?
Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at?
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch 'em. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say, remind me I owe you a bottle of Chandra if we don't all end up terramorph snacks before I can find it.
I dare say they got it.
The terramorphs, they don't play nice.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Tau Ceti.
Londinian was horrible. But it was one rare exception. Keep your meals in the break room, okay? Does it matter? Now stay sharp out there, and come back to us in one piece. Which is why, if you wanted to have your film crew jump out and yell surprise, I wouldn't be saddened in the least. Up for more predator tracking? Got some additional samples I'd like to get under the scope.
Think that little of me after all these years, huh? You and this whole damn rock, I guess.
She said that. It's finally happening then. Come on, I need to look at this.
Like hell you will. You've seen the rep I've got around here? I can't imagine yours is any better. What I was afraid of.
But now, at least, we're finally able to put some of it to better ends. Wiping them out with the microbe is going to be the fastest, most effective, and saves the most human lives.
Here, faster take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
What do you think you're doing? And, in this case, continues to be. He speaks for us all, ma'am.
If this is what I think it is, it's...
Back and intact. You get those samples? Then you can drop them with the tech outside. Don't you fret. We'll be there.
Or find it yourself and drop it into an incinerator.
Samples in the spaceport. Path there is completely collapsed. Think we have your father to thank for that.
How much of that did you actually understand?
Lift's the fastest way to the surface, but they blocked it when they shuttered this place. Bet you a shiny credit that it's got a bypass, though. No signal online! And, in this case, continues to be. They speak for us all, ma'am. I'll be right behind you.
Plenty of possible answers. But anything not backed with study would just be a guess. Could get it wrong. Could make things worse.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond. Real curious to know what you turned up. You heard right. Wait, that's not right. Where's the... It's a match. Kaiser looks like he's been to hell and back. Fitting for an old devil. You'll have to convince her, of course. But I don't think she'll fight you too badly. That man's depravity knows no bounds. Looks like the shipping yard's just beyond the cache. But finding your sample out there is going to be a real needle in a haystack situation. But we can send in-house researchers after the little guys. Your job will be primarily dealing with the, more troublesome species. Someone spilled the beans, huh? Put that back.
Fill this in second pass.
That's putting it mildly.
Lift's the fastest way to the surface, but they blocked it when they shuttered this place. Bet you shiny credit that it's got bypass.
Can't just humor an old man, huh? Instead, he stumbles on the plant and finds the perfect way of getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial. Watch it! Thrall's inbound! Once you've checked in with your Vanguard boss, come find me on Mars. Could use someone with your particular skill set. Something up with the job? Or did you just want to chat? I'm sorry, what? She was in charge. 19-year-old whiz kid, bossing the rest of us around. I just made sure no one played too rough with the critters. What we did back then, we were trying to win a war. We used every tool we had, tools we were permitted to use at the time, to try and win it.
Adrian, scared. Come on, we better take a look at this.
But at least now, with the TMD, some of that work is finally being put to better ends. Makes looking back a little less painful. Help! Murder! Way I saw it, nature had already figured out plenty more than we ever will. So, why not just copy some of the answers? I wouldn't underplay the importance of you bringing me Hadrian's little discovery. Now, you two are gonna have to make up first, for sure. She's still pretty livid about what well, you know. Glad they're willing to listen. But I'm gonna leave most of the talking to you two. Lou hooked me up with some supplies when I first came down. Haven't seen Hadrian in 20 years. Wish it was gonna be under better circumstances. But if you came all this way just to deliver a sample, what exactly is it you brought me? But, I'd also take a firearm just in case. Lieutenant Walter should have some good EM options for you. We're all counting on you out there. Kaiser and Hadrian especially. You two collect a sense of humor out there, too? 'Cause you must be joking right now. Didn't say that. Just surprised to find out my former colleague is now dropping alien predators into unsuspecting cities. What? Need help from the old man now? All right. Just get those cellular markers tagged.
No signal at full power! Hell of a job tracking this all down. One of these days you'll have to tell us how you found him.
This sample isn't Terramorph. Adrian sent you. Did she look okay?
Not sure. Probably been accumulating penalties since I left, so likely a couple zeros at this point.
If there's a less concerning explanation for where this thing came from, I'm not seeing it.
I've still got more capacity. Get to the next dish. Jackpot. Get down there and collect as many as you can.
Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that?
No, that's the problem. There's nothing wrong with the sample. Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him? Picking up thralls. Closing on your location.
Though, if heavens forbid, there's no viable option other than putting the things down. We're only talking a select few specimens here. These populations will recover.
Let's wrap this up, huh? I'd love to feel my fingers again.
Mother of God. Adrian sent you, didn't she? Adrian? She gave you this? Mother of God. A fast-growing Terramorph. That is concerning.
Additional hostiles closing on you. He's alive? No ghost is that clever. New signals headed your way. They move like Terramorphs. Think that's our only option. I expect she wouldn't mind too badly being out there herself, so pay her a visit before you head out. Now, let's get you the details of your first quarry.
Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
From what I could pick up, should be more than enough to let us take care of the Terramorphs. And their crawly kin.
Makes two of us.
Why, hello, fellow Class 1 citizen. That's never gonna get old. Now, was there something you needed?
Avoiding being a Terramorph chew toy a strong enough incentive?
Come on, focus, you piece of...
My God! There it is. Just like the Londinian sample.
Alive? He's... Victus?
Oh, I'm sorry my forced into exile lifestyle inconvenienced you.
No such luck.
Haven't had to use this thing in a while. Looks like it all still works. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we?
I'm following you, friend. Cambridge. Poor boy's probably in agony. He give you some bloodstone for me?
What you said before, it was right. We should have known better how our research was going to be used. Well, your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. There's a field cache inside the plant, too, if you need to stock up.
Lift's dead, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to trek back out the way you came in. Well, I'll need to get this all on a slate.
We need our research, Hadrian. We need the Zen Hour Fair team back.
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
So who exactly told you to bring this to me?
Look, if you need some time to process...
Okay, let's gaze into this abyss, shall we?
Look, I'd ask some UC grunt to do it, but I'd much rather have it in hands I know I can rely on. Think about it, all right?
All set. Now, you want to come over here and introduce yourself?
Just talking to myself, I guess.
The real thing. All right, let's head inside. Get this cooked up for you.
Ah, best place for 'em. You can imagine my shock when I walked into this place for the first time and found some plucky 19-year-old was going to be my partner.
But if you came all this way just to deliver a sample, what exactly is it you brought me?
Whole point was to create weapons so scary every Freestar Collective boy and girl would drop their arms and run home. Layout suggests it was pretty busy in its day. Plenty of spots to hide a sample.
If this is what I think it is, it's...
So, everything go according to plan? You get the samples?
Help! Someone's being attacked!
The Cabinet of the United Colonies. You think they're going to listen to you?
Hoped I'd never see anything like this again.
Give it here. Your analysis was never any good. Careful. You're no hatchling yourself anymore, Major. How'd you find me?
Pickpocket! Stop!
This sample has got all the markers of the worst Terramorph attack in human history.
She was disconcertingly correct. Trying little habit of Hadrian's.
If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells. These readings. Oh, God! They're underground! They're tunneling in! Hostiles inbound! Watch it! But finding out he's taken up mass murder in the years since, that is a shock. You're sure about this? Good news. Where are they? Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leach anatomy. Guys, not to cause any alarm, but your sample? It moved.
Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at? Maybe not you alone. But with an unbiased eyewitness, maybe.
Will this be the right place for it?
A tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that?
Just be a second. Had to defrost the damn cereal port with my hands. Okay, running up for a sweep. So, what's the holdup? Never said I didn't. Hey now. It at least gives us something to go on.
Come on in. Let me get this brewing.
Our specialty around here. But, well, you two seem like you work well together. So, the opportunity's there, if you're interested.
Well, that sure as hell changes things. There should be some radar equipment powered up now around the port. You get those online, and I'll relay my signal through there. I'll take that, thank you. There should be some radar equipment powered up now around the port. You get those online, and I'll do the rest. But none of that's getting done without the samples. You do have them, right? But I'm not seeing any signs of the specimen having been transported to Tau Ceti. It grew natively, and did it fast. Well, that revelation sure as hell changes things.
No, that's the problem. There's nothing wrong with the sample.
You coming? Sample's safe. You got my word. All right. Just get those cellular markers tagged.
No time to waste.
One more dish, and I should be able to shut it down completely. Right. This isn't the same sort of harvesting you and Hadrian were doing with the Terramorphs. A little will go a long way here.
Not a lot of other people can go up against apex predators and come home again and again.
At least we can rule out one suspect. I don't think Victus is planning any attacks from beyond the grave. For all the damage that group did, we were real tight-knit. Having that back, it's nice. That can't be true, right? Let's finish the briefing first.
Now, you want to explain who you are and why you're having the major risk a military tribunal by coming here?
Adrian's the one with the plan. I'm just along for the ride.
I'm picking up more signals closing on your location. That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years. Look, if you need some time to process... You're about to get some more company. Good news on our end. I'll let Hadrian give you the details. Now, anything else you got on the docket? Catch up later, then. The Terramorphs are coming. If we're about to enter a new era in human-Terramorph relations, where Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian... Whoa! Look. It would have been preferable for us all to know sooner, but at least the truth is out. Could go sniff around out there. Or maybe, Kaiser, you could try and get their computers online.
Hope to never see anything like this again.
What you've brought me. This isn't the sort of thing we can keep to ourselves in good conscience. Someone do something! Having Kaiser back means we can do real fieldwork again. Start putting some of these theories we've been bouncing around into practice. That should be the end of its connection to its thralls. Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here. Hey, was worried about that myself, though I know I wasn't nearly as much at risk of limb loss as you all were. More trouble headed your way. 10 points a bit strong. Up to you. Just thought it might be a good opportunity for the both of you to bury the hatchet. The signal that thing's putting out to call in those creatures, I think I can nullify it, but I'm gonna need some help. On it. See you soon. Here, faster if we take the lift to the surface. I expect you're the reason they suddenly started working again. And getting the Freestar Collective and House Varun involved? What do you think you're doing?
Only thanks to the hard work of your meddling friend here, but yes.
Emergency exits towards the rear of the port. Hopefully it wasn't welded shut from the blast. Were you eating at your bench? Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid Terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did. Doesn't look like it. But I'd be real careful out there if I were you. Kaiser, you... Oh, you're right. There's an entrance just outside the plant. Initially, it was a lot of material sciences. Using carapace to make tougher ship hulls, biofluids for helmet glass that didn't fog, which are exceedingly minimal. Here, what the UC owes you. Not from where I'm standing. Class 1? For the three of us? Are you joking? Heat leeches. Who would have thought it'd be heat leeches? That's about the understatement of the century. A couple of choice four-letter words came to mind for me.
Hadrian. Hadrian Sanan. Heavens above, she must be... She... Did she look okay?
Glad to hear it.
We were exiled, Hadrian. They're not going to give us the time of day.
And remember, proximity should be all you need to get your samples. Get close, harvest, and get out before they spot you. If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime. New Atlantis. So what exactly did she have you bring me? And so you know, you shouldn't need to kill these critters to harvest the required cells. This isn't the same level of analysis we were doing with the terramorphs. It's certainly not good. Terramorph attacks don't bother us in our daily lives because they're so infrequent. What are you doing? You can check the terminal over there for the details. We should get back to the Sixth Circle ASAP. Arguably makes things more feasible, now that we know what we're dealing with, not less. The ultimate sin. I cut him out of a deal. Well then, I think it's time the two of you hash things out. Map agrees with our mechanical friend. I'll forward the details along to your ship. Good hunting, Captain. So someone's figured out how to use the terramorphs as weapons. Thought we'd learned our lesson. Percival to Captain. Come in, Captain. Heads up! More thralls incoming! Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds. Terramorphs incoming! Watch yourselves! Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian had the good sense to stay put. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me?
Must be a big deal, if the Major's pulling a stunt this boneheaded.
Guess it's time. Shipping yard's not far now. Speaking of the alien in the room, your sample? Dead ringer for the one from Londinium. But when the war started looming, top brass in the UC military had other ideas for what we should be looking into. That's where xenoweapons got started. That's putting it lightly. Trade Authority eventually found out and wanted a piece of everything I'd sold. And then some. Samples in the spaceport. Main route looks like it's been iced over. That's the plan. Come on. The suspense is killing me.
I can't work for you. I still work for the Trade Authority. Probably owe em a pretty penny now, too.
Citizen Class 1. Not bad for you and Hadrian doing all the hard work. Wait. Tau Gourmet? Like Tau Ceti Tau Gourmet? Hadrian. Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons. I checked with Lieutenant Gwalter before heading out. A good EM weapon could serve you well on these missions. Oh yeah. Two of the earliest members of the UC Xenoweapons team. You heard, Hadrian. Let's march. Perfect. All the details should be on the terminal. Not a well-mannered rescuer, now are you?
Suffice it to say.
Our mutual friend here showed me your sample. Just don't let those critters get under your skin. Seriously. I've met some that'll try. We don't have to worry about terramorph attacks if there aren't any more terramorphs. Good place for it.
Emergency access? To the archives? You are out of your mind. And who exactly is going to ask the cabinet to do that? Me? You?
You track down those critters we were after. I've got a tech waiting outside for the drop-off. Plus, get you dressed for the occasion. Suppose that gets at the spirit of it. Head there, find the specimens, and bring the samples back to me. But I'll be keeping track of everything we're collecting. I'm never going to ask you to do anything that'll cause lasting harm to a species. And, in this case, continues to be. She speaks for us all, ma'am. Terramorphs are heat leeches. Considering what else we found, that might be the least surprising discovery of the day. Though a terramorph attack is likely the picture they put next to dire emergency in the dictionary.
There you are. This sample. Hadrian tell you anything about it?
I just need one more dish. Go! She was disconcertingly correct. Trying little habit of Hadrian's. Unfortunately, yes. No other reliable way for us to get the samples. You have a plan for that workup, I presume? Hadrian said that, huh? But I'm not seeing any indicators this specimen was transported to Tau Ceti. Since then, well, I've just been trying to make ends meet. Picking up jobs as a lab tech, a physician, a vet. Not a lot of folks excited to hire someone with a past like mine.
Chat later, huh?
I dare say they got it. Ah, best spot for them. What? Hadrian, repeat that. So you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now? I'm just glad to see you made it out in one piece. Just get back up here so we can finish, all right? They're pulling my leg, right?
Hadrian, ready to get back to it? You and Hadrian are the right people for this job. Would have jumped to be out there with you 30 years ago. What I was afraid of. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Tau said he. Plus, I knew the security was good enough that the Trade Authority couldn't just come waltzing in the door even if they figured out where I was. So, I set up shop. Place you found me. That was our home base. Red Devil's HQ. Aha! That makes sense. Plenty of abandoned tech for an old warmonger to pilfer there.
Hadrian.
Don't leave me in the dark here. Because our plan doesn't change. Clearing our worlds of terramorphs, and leeches too, and developing tools to keep them from coming back. That's still the way forward. I'd recognize that cellular signature from orbit. Just like the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian. This a social visit? Or are you looking for more work? Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts?
Well, not what I was expecting, that's for sure. Let's, come over here and let's discuss.
Back for a resupply? Good. Not getting any samples if you end up a frozen meal, though I doubt House Varun has a lot to say these days. What with the whole disappearing from known space thing.
Why would you, Suppose the damage is done.
You need to go take care of something. I'm not going to be offended. Don't disagree with what you said before. The unfairness of the UC throwing us out for what they ordered us to do. Ha! Look who it is. Oh, yeah. Both worked for UC Defense Research way back when. Different departments, but everyone knew Orlays. Here, faster if we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness.
Did she say anything else about this sample? Anything special about it?
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for this thing? Reginald Orlays. Last person I would have suspected. If there's an answer to stopping more attacks in the data, we'll find it. Yeah? Change your mind? We could really use the help harvesting these samples, though I can't promise you'll be dealing with the friendliest of creatures. Not sure there's really much else to talk about. Can probably rule out a man who's been dead 19 years from having been involved with these attacks. These terramorph attacks, they caught the UC off guard. UC Brass doesn't like that. Well, when the terramorphs wiped out Londinian, at least they had the consideration to stay the hell put. So, we'd all be safe from any more surprise attacks via the Lazarus plant. But we wouldn't be cleaning up the last generation of terramorphs. Ah, there you are. You all done with whatever it was the UC had you on? We're still just scrambling to reopen this place for business.
I'd recognize that cellular signature from orbit, just like the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian.
Hat. Only room for one wise guy in this building. Job's taken. Which means every single heat leech crawling inside every ship and vent on every planet humanity has ever touched is capable of exactly this metamorphosis.
That can't... Hadrian really said that? Londinian? Back room. This way. Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that? Hadrian and I are still pouring through the terramorph data. Don't think I realized just how much I've forgotten. Drift off on me?
But you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans were after you showed this to me?
These creatures aren't supposed to work like this. You can find the next batch at this location. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Ve Victus knew about this damn plant?
Haven't seen Hadrian in 20 years. Wish it was going to be under better circumstances. I'd say a possible galaxy-spanning plague of killing machines might count.
Worked on all kinds of projects, but I fell hard for Xenobio.
Samples safe. You got my word.
Here. Your creatures are on that world, but you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans were after you showed this to me? The Armistice Archives? Because it doesn't change the plan. Leeches and terramorphs are the same critter, so the samples you're collecting should work just as well for one as the other.
Because if you told me this was a hoax, and be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved.
Hey, watch it, Major. You're no hatchling yourself anymore. Though I think I've got a bottle of Chandra lying around somewhere that's all yours if we don't all end up terramorph snacks. Worst of the century, more like.
Come on, focus, you piece of... My God. There it is. Like it just came out of the archives. The Londinian sample.
Our mutual friend here showed me your sample.
Hadrian. She gave you this?
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base. Never underestimate humanity's ability to disappoint you.
Whoa. Seems you're real lost, friend. This is private property. Well, not really, but think you should probably get a move on.
Got it right here.
I dare say he got it.
Boy's smarter than he gives himself credit for. Well, give it here.
Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian.
Alright, well, I don't know what she was so... Oh. Wait. Where's the... My God. It's exactly what she said. Matured in an instant.
I'd make it quick. This doesn't look like the most patient of audiences. Hey! I think that was supposed to be an apology. Plus, now it at least gives us something to go on. Now with the easy part out of the way, we can get started on the hard stuff.
Gasps.
Managed to negotiate it down to something more reasonable. Good to see someone give the Trade Authority a bit of their own medicine.
Come on. We can ask for forgiveness later. That's not... Friend, if this is a joke, I'm not laughing.
So what's this she had you bring all the way down here after putting you in harm's way?
It's hard to know how you'd react, being in a situation like we were.
Oh my God!
Well, should be getting back to it anyway.
Been 20 years, Major. You didn't know who I'd be now. Heard some nasty rumors, reacted accordingly. I just hoped I could get away from all that here.
Think we've still got some items on the docket to discuss.
All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we?
Figure no one else was using it.
Hey! Give that back!
Hadrian really gave you the sample? You're not lying to me?
It was. An entire city wiped off the map.
Really should have told Hadrian about her father before now. Had a mean eye for weapons tech. And a meaner temper. Wasn't exactly a surprise when he fled instead of standing trial after the colony war.
No, that's the problem. This looks about as genuine as they come.
That can't. Hadrian really said that. Londinian.
What happened there? It was a tragedy, but at least it was contained.
So that means we have a suspect.
Map shows an old shipping yard on the other side of that processing plant. Your gene sample's probably in one of the containers.
We're trying to build a comprehensive picture here, which requires specific cells from specific family lines of some oftentimes unfriendly creatures.
Though I'm starting to wish I hadn't. This really came from a terramorph that matured on site. Wasn't transported there.
Which means we need someone to track down said aliens and harvest samples from them. And not just any sample from these animals is gonna do either. Now, what else can I do for you?
In the circle, huh? Could use a drink about now.
Someone help me! Take care of yourself out there.
Same old, regular terramorph. But literally every other word you said, drop dead, terrifyingly right.
A terramorph? She's fortunate to be alive at all. Hope you two had plenty of backup.
So you must be the one who got me out of the red with the Trade Authority.
I don't.
Het. Watch it, Major. You're no hatchling yourself anymore.
Well, the man knew how to hold a grudge. I wouldn't be shocked if this was him getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
Ah, you see that's, oh.
Wait. Where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's...
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here, and I wasn't expecting guests.
Go! Hey, get that back!
Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved.
The circle, huh?
Could use a drink about now, but at least now, we're finally able to put some of our old work to better ends.
What you brought me. This isn't the sort of thing we can keep to ourselves in good conscience.
Well, let's hope it never comes to that. I'm following you, friend.
I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either.
Just be honest with the cabinet. They can deny the truth, but that doesn't change it.
Just paid the whole thing off, huh? Hope it's obvious from my current circumstances that that's going to be a gift, not a loan.
But the Major knew her stuff. Saw potential in all her staff and knew how to get the best out of them. Kind of bull only an uncynical woman like Adrian could pull off.
Think it's the Major you want to talk to. Those samples should be all we need to make that happen.
Without some kind of intervention, if this started spreading across the settled systems.
Speaking of the alien in the room, your sample? Dead ringer for the one from Londinium. Lift's dead, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to trek back out the way you came in.
This sample, though, it means an attack like what happened on Londinium could happen anywhere. Every settled system's in danger. Nothing on my end. Not one that won't leave you completely exposed. Can't be 100% until we run some tests, but there's no reason to think it shouldn't, knowing now they're the same creature. You nervous about speaking to the cabinet? Yeah, I would be too.
About that time I decided to stop giving a shit about these pebble pickers, though I guess my disappearing might have left some of my patients in the lurch.
Connection received. Broadcasting signal. A terramorph? You two tangled with a terramorph? And lived? Glad she's finally found someone else to get in trouble. She was disconcertingly correct. Trying a little habit of Adrian's. Adrian? You said you got this from Adrian? Was she all right? Signal's closing on you! Morphs! Here, your pay. Starting to see outlines of terramorph anatomy inside my eyelids. It's not pleasant. Now, thanks to the captain, we can do something about it. Aha! Results like these are why we wanted you for the job. You just gonna leave me guessing? Or you gonna tell me what this sample is? So, you gonna clue me in on what your next move was? Must have told someone about what he found. Hey, that isn't yours. Snatch those up and come home safe. That's not gonna end well for humanity. I'm sorry, but did I hear right that you found Kaiser's location? Then what are you doing here? Go get that old war machine.
What? You can reattach a finger, Percy.
As if Francois Sanon needed another reason to be reviled. You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe. We could use Hadrian here, absolutely. But we have other scientists. Who knows? Probably need to cut me down and count the rings to figure it out at this point. I'm shocked someone hasn't scrapped that old combat bot for parts. Though I guess that sort of remains to be seen. So then, was there anything else we needed to cover? That's not... Friend, if this is a joke, I'm not laughing. So it was Sanon. Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. A little will go a long way here. Just get close, take a few scrapings, and get out before they see you.
No, probably not. Probably she was thinking the same thing I am right now. It's finally happening. Come on, I need to get this under the scope.
Yes. The kid's dead. Lost him on the table. Someone started the rumor I killed him for pet food not long after.
Not gonna bring this here and then leave me alone with my thoughts, are you?
If she made you come all the way for this, let's get inside. I need to see what we're up against.
Well, UC did what the situation demanded, just like all of us did. And frankly, it's been too damn long for me to hold a grudge anymore.
This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it! Watch yourself. Some nasty creatures outside these walls. And inside them, for that matter. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion? Damn good thing he did, too. Since once those spacers moved in, I was on my own until you showed. That's so. Guess I better get this under the scope, then. Want to tell me what I'm gonna see? Come on, we can ask for forgiveness later. Alive? He's... Ve Victus? Could go sniff around out there. Or maybe Kaiser. You could try and get their computers online. You're in better shape than I expected, Kaiser. Shouldn't take us long to get you back up to full fighting capacity. If you're looking to hand off some samples, talk to the Xenotech outside. Hopefully those critters weren't too much of a challenge for you.
Music to my ears.
Well, that friend told her friends, and before I knew it, I'd become Mars' go-to black market pharmacist.
If I peek my head up. Hadrian, I guarantee they're going to make our lives hell. And we don't have time for that.
Now hit it with everything you've got! Map shows an old shipping yard on the other side of that processing plant. Samples probably in one of those containers. I'll have a tech waiting outside to collect them from you. He's pulling my leg, right? Hadrian, please tell me I misheard you. Just picking off a couple specimens for our needs. You have my word on that. I joined UC DRIP, Defense Research and Initiative Program, right after graduation.
We were supposed to be co-eds initially, but you've dealt with Hadrian. You can imagine about how long that lasted.
No. No, no, no. Has the universe finally taken the last of my decrepit mind? Because that is a ghost.
If it isn't our very own apex predator. Ready to collect some more samples for me? Good place to start. What'd you find? Which means we need that last sample. Well, we're never gonna know one way or the other if you don't get a sample from that thing. Get after it.
Not a lot of other people can go up against apex predators and come home again and again.
Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. And for good reason.
Keep them to a minimum. But the first sample's not far. Looks like a Sealy's.
So what's this she had you bring all the way down here after putting you in harm's way?
So what you said before? Just lies, huh?
And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian.
Help! I'm being attacked!
But you two seem like you work well together. So the opportunity's there, if you're interested. Makes two of us. Which means we need someone to track down said aliens and harvest samples, multiple sets in some cases, from oftentimes unfriendly creatures.
Tau Ceti. Humans haven't been living there long enough for that. Someone setting up the worst petting zoo in the universe?
Job's yours if you want it. And the UC's already signed off on Hadrian backing you up. If, that is, you want her there. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack. But the ones that did, well, they look just like this one.
Instead, he stumbles on the plan and finds the perfect way of getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
Chat later, huh? Not gonna bring this here and then leave me alone with my thoughts, are you?
So it is possible. So now...
Don't try that again. Pretty much every beast, behemoth, critter, and chimera humanity's run across is on the list. I'll keep you all heading in the right direction out there. But they were doing what they had to do. And now, at least, we're finally getting to put some of our old work to better ends. Londinian. Way I see it, that terramorph data is the only way forward right now. Otherwise, we're fighting this thing blind. Can't be positive until we run some tests. But knowing that the terramorphs have been masquerading as heat leeches all this time is a big find. Hadrian mentioned you're doing some work for the Interstellar Affairs Group. They got you shuttling aid around or something?
Which is why if you want to have your vid crew jump out and yell surprise, I wouldn't be saddened in the least.
Certainly putting it mildly. There's something behind me or something?
But maybe our neutral third party here could swoop in and rescue us sullied individuals?
I'll be right behind you. You're no hatchling yourself anymore, Major. Good luck. You two are gonna need it. Why? You wanna watch an old man squirm? Knew I could count on you. I'll get these cataloged.
Not if you can get the cabinet to see what kind of threat this truly is. The archive can be opened in case of emergencies.
Uploaded them myself. But it will be easier to verify once I see the samples. You did get them, right?
Okay.
Suppose I better start getting the HQ cleaned up. No better place for this research to get done than down here. Because our plan doesn't have to change. We clean the terramorphs, and heat leeches too, now, off human worlds, so those people are still protected. Well, I've got just the species. Everything should be pulled up on the terminal over there. You should head out. You and Hadrian have a big job ahead of you. Is that really her? She's pulling my leg, right? Hadrian? Well, we're never gonna know if it's a match if you don't get a tissue sample from that thing. Get after it! The cabinet of the United Colonies. You think they're gonna listen to you? But I don't see any signs of the specimen having been transported to Tau Ceti. Seems like our only option. Got one! It's... damn. But since dealing with unfriendly creatures falls square in your wheelhouse, well, I figured we might be able to recruit you for the task.
If she made you come all the way for this, let's get inside. I need to see what we're up against.
I don't think it was transported to Tau Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. So, they want us patrolling the front lines of xenological life, ensure we've got intel on any possible new alien threats.
And why would she do something as idiotic as that?
No, that's the problem. There is nothing wrong with it. Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you. Londinian. Good luck. You two are gonna need it. He must have told someone about what he found. That's not me! Who exactly told you to bring this to me? That's a joke, right? There's no settlement old enough on Tau Ceti to have a terramorph. You're alive! I heard about the attack, and with the two of you in the city, I presumed the worst. I sure as hell hope the cabinet's convinced we need to do something now. So having to face trial gave him the right to kill people in the streets? 20 years on the run does strange things to a person, I guess.
So, you going to clue me in on what your next move was?
It was at that point I decided to take my leave of absence. That thing is putting out some kind of signal. Radar's lighting up. I think you're due for some company.
Looks like the Major's wrong on this one.
Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye. Good. I know just the species. Let me get you that info.
Suppose that gets at the spirit of it?
Ve Victus? Didn't you just get done telling us it was Orle's? If you grovel right, yeah. I think she would. You screwed up. But it's never too late to start setting things right again. Suit yourself. Just think about it, all right? Sounds like Hadrian. Watch that woman lose a digit trying to get a better tissue sample, which is why if you wanted to have your film crew jump out and yell surprise, I wouldn't be saddened in the least. Orle's always had a temper on him, but mass murder? So, if you're interested, they've agreed to let you take Hadrian with you. You're positive he's our man.
And free stars. And House Vieruin who no one has seen in 20 years. Should be a cinch.
Another sample, though, gets us one step closer to it becoming the rule, which means we need to get this information into the right hands as soon as possible. Guess I should have spent a little more time on that fine print.
Hat. Not for the faint of heart in there.
Head there, find your specimens, and bring those samples back here. Up to you, but I don't think she'd mind getting back out and doing some field work again.
What I wouldn't give for a drink I didn't pour myself.
That's right. UC shuttered it after the war. But I just happened to remember the access codes. We'll clean up the leeches right alongside their ugly big brothers. Interest you in a new assignment? No one else I'd rather have doing it. A colleague hunting terramorphs. These samples are going to change the galaxy. For the better. Music to my ears. Terramorphs in New Atlantis. Can't think of a worse place for them to raise their heads. If you can get close enough to these creatures to harvest from them directly, you should be able to collect what we need without killing them. Don't let them get the best of you, all right? So, now that the time's come to actually do the work, well, I was hoping we might be able to recruit you for the job.
This sample, though, it means an attack like what happened on Londonian could happen, anywhere. Every settled system's in danger.
It was a city wiped completely off the map by terramorphs. Oh, you're a riot robot. Here you go. Sure. You decide you want in, you know where to find me. At this point, I know as much as you do. You want to talk to Hadrian. That's mine! Give it back! Just taking in the lovely weather, then? Makes two of us. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian. Be seeing you. The kind of work that demands an attention to detail and a robust will to survive. Well done. Now, last scan picked up a terramorph specimen. But, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quickest path there was blown to Kingdom Come. Cabinet's gonna want to hear all of this.
He's just along with the plan. I'm just along for the ride.
You know, give you a shot to earn back some trust after that fiasco with the cabinet.
Well, when the terramorphs wiped out Londonian, at least they had the consideration to stay the hell put.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
Course, that's all calculated on their central computer. You hack into there, maybe you could change that number to something more reasonable.
Here. That's where you're headed.
Not a well-mannered rescuer now, are you? Alright. Well, I don't know what she was, Oh. Wait. Where's the... My God. This thing. It matured in an instant.
Guess we can rule out one suspect. Man who's been dead 20 years isn't pulling off an attack on New Atlantis, no matter how smart he was.
There's not an easy solution to stop a species that could be anywhere and everywhere in the settled systems at once.
What I wouldn't give for a drink I didn't pour myself. Here you go. Hazard pay. Good. I had a species I was hoping to get under the scope. Just let me get the specifics for you. expiring. And if you haven't talked to Lieutenant Gualter about a good EM weapon, I'd say now's the time.
There is just one additional wrinkle. UC spec'd this as a one-person job, but I convinced them this sort of task merits expert backup. Going to be a hell of a meeting up there. Of that, I have no doubt.
I'll make sure this gets dropped repeatedly.
Haven't had to absorb information this fast in decades. Luckily, I've learned all this junk once before. Just want to make sure we've got the right man. You're certain. Wrong on that front, too. Great. Check the terminal. It should have all the info you need for this round.
Watch out! More terminals closing in!
I'll need to get this all on a slate.